see that there's a couple of you here. Today we are going to be talking about building with Tentacles for revenue growth. And why do we want to do that? Because it's so important for us to be in the right mindset to build our business, to grow our business, to have sustainability, right? To have reoccurring profits for the long haul so that we can grow our legacy. And the only way that's going to happen is by growing out tentacles. For those of you who don't know what I mean when I talk about tentacles, it's my little phrase that I've trademarked that talks about those extra revenue streams, the extra revenue streams that you build into your business so that you can become sustainable. So this is a mindset seminar, but it also has tips and tricks that you can implement today for quick wins and at least initiate the pathing and the mindset that it's going to take for you to grow over time. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen because it seems to work better when I can talk from a platform that works for me sharing my screen. So give me a moment here to make sure that we're on the right track. It looks like we're already in share mode. Just fine. There we go. There we go. Hello. Hello. I'm here and I'm with you and I'm live. And I'm so glad that you're live with me too, because that means we can jump right on into the presentation, Building with Tentacles for Revenue Growth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about a single stream of revenue and how that's not enough. A single stream of revenue is not going to be enough to keep you going for the long haul. We have to build out those business tentacles. So I always tell the masses, if you treat your business like a hobby, you can be sure it's going to perform like one. You can be sure it's going to perform like one. We don't want to do that here. So in order to build the sustainability, to build your business to scale and make continuous sales over time, you're going to have to evolve. You're going to have to evolve. You're going to have to adopt a broader mindset for growth. And as always, building out a business is really scary sometimes. If you've been in it for 1 to 2 years, you know that the initial building out that thought pattern of just having your business is the branding and the licensing and getting the business name out there, and you're out there getting domain names, and you're out there getting the legal aspects of things up and running, and then you're building out the website, and you're doing all these things, and they kind of become encompassing over the first 1 or 2 years, making sure that you have that like, know, and trust factor. But you're just starting out, so people really don't know who you are just yet. But you're getting your brand out there, you're getting your products or services out there, and then there's that broader step. There's the hype and the excitement that comes with finally selling those products or services. But what are you doing to keep it consistent? What are you doing to keep it consistent? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to evolve. We're going to investigate different streams of revenue to support your expenses and to support your profitability through the long haul. Okay, through the long haul. So if you're just joining me today, I'm super excited to have you here. After this session is over, there is places to go afterwards. I'll be talking about that through the seminar. But for today, we're just going to be talking about the mindset, and I'm going to give you some examples again. So tools and operations, right? Tools and operations tend to go through the flow of the business. So unless you've been in business before and you're not just starting out from scratch, you may not know that there's tools for operations, for expansion that happen over time as you need them. So those expenses can change over time, from tools of the trade, daily operations, staff growth, events, being able to push out more product further out, more services further out, more benefits further out, and all that, you're going to need what? Staff to support your growth. So we're going to talk about how we get money, how we get more money, how we get that revenue, consistent revenue stream going and without having to rob Peter to pay Paul in the process. So we're going to talk about those tentacles. We're going to talk about the tentacles. So extra revenue streams may include repurposing something that you already have in your back pocket. Okay, so it doesn't always mean that you have to start building or start grasping at straws or start wondering where to start when it comes to building out your revenue streams or building out those tentacles. So I want you to always think about expansion, because up to this point you have 10, 20, 30 years in a profession, in a craft, in things that you create, whether it's on the service end of things or whether it's on the product end of things, and you're trying to grow organically to kind of keep the overhead low, right? So always think expansion. This might mean, if you're in a product-based industry, adding sets to an existing product line. You know, if you're into beauty and skincare, or bath and beauty, or if you're into jewelry making, or if you're setting up things and you're in the artist industry and you're setting up designs or you're setting up photographs, there's a whole process that's going to be involved in your expansion. And today is about taking the time to think a little bit differently. So we're going to be adding some bonuses to existing services to show value, and that might include special pricing for products or services or events, or specifically to existing clientele through other things like possibly memberships or something like that. So let's talk more about that. I'm trying to set up your mind to think about expansion. So I want you to broaden your vision about your existing products or services. Okay, if you see me looking away here and there, it's just because I'm trying to make sure that everyone is here in the class and no one else is trying to get in, so bear with me for a little bit. Yes, expansion. Okay, so expansion, this is what expansion looks like. I'm going to give you an example here. Right here we're looking at a branded lotion, right? This is our branded lotion. It's a standalone item, but that lotion can be part of something bigger, right? It can be sold as a single and then it can make a little bit of money, or it can be sold as a set, right? It might be inclusive of a face wash and a body butter. So these items now are presented as a kit at a slightly discounted rate. Why? Because you're going to sell more of them, because more people buy kits than single items unless they're purchasing just for themselves. But we're talking about growth here. We're talking about reoccurring income, and we're talking about selling not just on the singularity. If you broaden out that mindset a little bit, now all of a sudden you're purchasing items for other people, for self-care, for yourself and for other people. And those items as a kit, if it's sold as a kit, it can be sold as a present, as a gift, as another self-care item for a loved one or somebody else, acquaintance, a coworker, or whatever. So the event items, the event possibilities broaden, and then you have the holidays that arise. So then all of a sudden this small one item becomes a kit, which is a larger item, and you're selling more of it, right? So these single items are now presented as a kit at a slightly discounted rate because they're more enticing. They're more enticing. So they're more likely to make multiple sales. So think about, okay, you're like, okay, that's great for the product industry. I get it. I'm wrapping my brain around that. But what about the service people? Okay, I get it. You're a service person. That means you might be a teacher. You might be in social services. You might be in legal. There's a broad range of services that a person can be involved in. You might be an accountant. So how do you use what's in your existing arsenal to get it out there? Digital products is the answer. Digital products is the answer. And if you need help thinking about how to transition where you are today into where you can be. I'm the person to help you out with that. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Now all of a sudden you're a service person. That means you own the template of what you're using with your clientele. Are you thinking about white labeling? Are you thinking about broadening it so that you can make something generic that everybody can use, and then selling it as a digital piece, selling it on a platform on where you can sell your digital goods, right? That might be a worksheet. It might be a template. It might be a calculator. Okay. It might be a group of templates or a workbook or a group of worksheets. Okay. So you might opt to sell your worksheets or templates together, license them out, as I mentioned, or you can sell it under different, so that other people can sell it under their brand and just not yours, or you can sell it as your brand and keep the brand going and keep getting that far reach of the like, know, and trust factor, right? So let's move on from here. This is a quick mindset seminar, so I hope you guys are grasping this. I hope it's helping you to think a little bit broader. So the next subject we're going to cover is magnets. What are those magnets? You guys should know all about magnets by this time. You're probably putting in your name and emails for things that you can get for free to help you in your business. These are small wins, right? People give away things for free, products, services, consultations, right? That might be the magnet, a free consultation of 20 to 30 minutes so that you can prove your like, know, and trust and gain the trust factor, right? So magnets will lead these people to reoccurring revenue streams. And magnets come in a multitude of fashions, and I have listed just a few that can help you kind of get your mindset into thinking about it, right? So your magnets might lead them to the things that make you reoccurring money. So these things might be mini courses, right? They might be signature courses, mastery courses, DIY courses, trainings, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, a number of things, right? You might be setting up an offsite somewhere. Now, let me zone in on a couple of possibilities to get your mind thinking. Okay. Let's see. I have a product-based business. My products are vegan skincare products. Maybe the lead magnet is that they actually have purchased the product before, but they're wondering how they can make this product. So maybe my lead magnet is leading them to a specific direction. Maybe it's leading them to the recipe book to make these products, right? So that is a recurring revenue stream. Now I'm going to have a book that teaches them how to make said product so that and in their mind, they're saving money, they're saving time overall, they can make it whenever they want to, right? And this is just an example of this process, okay? Let me give you another one. Let me give you another quick tip. What if you are in the service industry? Okay, you're in the service industry and your thing is you have applications that you make and you're putting these applications in someone's website. But they want to adhere or they want to broaden over time, or they might not be working with you more than once. Then what's the thing that you can make? You can make those applications generic and you can sell them as a digital download to someone or to many companies who are looking for applications for clients in that specific niche area. Again, the whole purpose of this seminar is to get you to think broad so that you can build products for reoccurring income. Next, people pay for answers. People pay for answers. Yes, they do. I want to give you guys a little bit of background information. The e-learning market is expected to be worth $374.3 billion in 2026. Are you hearing me? The e-learning market is expected to be worth $374.3 billion by 2026. This is not chump change. You should be a part of it. If you're not a part of it, you need to be teaching what you already know. What you already know. Okay? If you're just starting out, you know what your niche product is. You know what your niche market is. If you don't know, I have an unforgettable branding class that you definitely should be in because it teaches you how to build that unforgettable brand. But note what I'm saying here. The e-learning market is expected to be worth $374.3 billion by 2026. Digital education and e-learning had more than $90 billion in sales in 2021. That was the most recent year for when I made this presentation. But think about the growth potential. Think about where we are today. Think about where we're going. Okay? 75% of all students went online in 2021. How many? 75%. We didn't expect the pandemic to happen, but it happened. And guess what happened? Everybody made the pivot. Everybody made the pivot. There's power in the pivot. Everybody made the pivot. And the surge for non-conventional off-site learning, which was really in-home learning, continues to be the preference. Not really in-home. It could be anywhere. People started traveling. People started exploring different avenues for making money. But during this time, those folks that made the change, that weren't spending all their time complaining, we're sitting back going, okay, how do we make this work? What kind of tools am I going to need? What are the comforts that I need in my home to make this feasible? What are the comforts I'm going to need if I need to do my job on the road? Okay? Depends on what kind of job you have. Again, if you're in marketing, you're moving around a lot. If you're in IT, you're moving around a lot with customers. But portion of that job can then be brought home, right? You can do some things at home and some things you have to get out and go see a client about. I want you guys to think broader range. Do you have products that you're making that you have to then distribute? Well, how do you do that if the place that you have to be at is shut down because of some disease or other, some national thing that's going on, right? You need to be able to up your game in safety, in security measures, in cleanliness measures. We built the comfort zone. We spent a year doing it. Now we know how to do it, and now we don't want to go back to the norm. And guess what? It's not just them. If you were already in business before this and you already had a home-based business before this, you had a leg up because your stuff was already set up. But what about the people who didn't? Who are now in competition for what you're doing? Guess what? Don't be worried about that. Don't think about that. Think about you. Don't get in your own way. Don't think about what they're doing. Think about what you're doing. Think about the value that you're bringing. Think about the value that you're bringing. Your experiences are always your experiences. How you do them is always how you do them. You've already figured out a way to make it happen. So show the value, share the value, repurpose the value, make it happen. Okay, our nation pivoted during the pandemic, so global e-learning and course consumption increased, and it's going to continue. So let's be ready for it. Let's be ready for it. Let's create a path that is all your own. Now, I'm going to give you some examples on how it looks to have tentacles and how it looks to not have tentacles, okay, because that's super important. But this is what happens when you're not able to make that pivot, when you're not able to see that continuous and reoccurring streamlines and having other streamlines in your business, having those extra tentacles. When you don't have that in your business, it causes you not to have a vision. Not having a vision limits your earnings to a single stream. If you lose that single stream, everything goes down. That's not what you want to do. Okay? Not understanding your avatar's pain points. Not understanding their pain points means you can't bring the benefits. You can't bring the value. It limits your ability to expand over the long term. Not knowing your product or service can solve a specific pain point differently. Okay, you're expanding, you're taking that one singular mindset and then broadening it. If you can't broaden your mindset, you are limiting the like, know, and trust factor that you can be getting from your avatar, your ideal customer, or more than one. Okay? Revenue potential is endless. So let's take a look at the before and after potential scenarios. This example that I'm giving you right here, is a product-based business. More specifically, it's a design business. So they have products that they design. And this is 1 month of sales in the month of February. So we're talking winter sales. No drop in the bucket. We've got 4187 views on the actual product in their shop. More specifically, this is an Etsy shop. They've got 1696 actual visits out of the 4187. So they looked at, these are the people who actually came into the shop, saw the product, and then 15 orders came out of that. 15 orders came out of that for revenue of, 950 for all practical purposes. Okay, so we're getting $1,000 from one product in a shop, one product in a shop, singular for the month. Okay, so as we're looking at this, we're going to say, okay, great. Okay, that's fantastic. That number is hot sauce, right? That means we're making 11,000 plus for the year. That's hot sauce. But then look at this. We've expanded our vision on how we're going to present our product. Now we just have that product revenue. And even if that was the only product that they were making that year, they made $12,000, one product, 1 year, and then they expanded. So you expand your mindset. And in this particular diagram, we're going to call it a 4x2. We're going to call it a 4x2. 4 times a year, this person opens the doors to signature courses. Signature course, boom, 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 signature courses. Okay, this person's opened the doors 2 times a year. They have a larger offer than the signature course. They're calling it a mastery course. Okay, mastery course, a little bit more expensive, gives them a little bit more in-depth information on the product at hand. Boom, hitting it right. They're doing the mastery course, the larger offer, and then they have the offsite. So we've got them looking at a bunch of different things here. January, they've got signature courses at $1,200. Challenges, early bird special pricing. February and March, they're doing membership courses. April, signature course again, challenges. May, June, they're doing challenges and membership courses. Your stuff should lead somewhere. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Think broader and then guide them someplace else. That's the only way you're going to build tentacles for big money. Okay? Now you're seeing this. You're seeing what the possibilities are. These are just examples. These are not specific examples to any one person, but this is a way to think about the broader picture about how you're going to get recurring income. Okay? So additional revenue potential with your tentacles, for this particular person. The pricing model is, of course, going to vary depending on your specific product, depending on your specific product niche, depending on the service for each category. But in this diagram, we see the potential from the previous slide broken down by price and possible sales. Okay, so the yearly income breakdown is $48,000 from signature courses, $20,000 from mastery courses, or $20,000 plus an additional $10,000 for later in the year. They got a couple of challenges for another couple thousand. Memberships are going for another almost $3,000. They've got offsites bringing in another $8,000. And then they have digital products, calendars, journals, workbooks, worksheets, right? Another, $2,100 or so. $92,000 extra, $92,500 really. In addition to the 12,000 they made from one product. Do you hear me? Do you see what I'm saying? And do you see how Tentacles work? Okay, I'm just trying to get you to broaden your view, broaden your mindset, see what the possibilities are so that you can get there, so that you can do the planning, so that you can make things happen. Yes, is there a process to making courses? Of course there is. Yes, is there a process to building out those worksheets and workbooks and calculators or whatever else you might be selling as a digital product? Of course there is. What I want you to do is think broad and believe that you can get there based on the knowledge that you already have. Okay? If you are a coach and you're teaching someone to run, right? You're a coach, you're a whole different kind of coach. The whole this thing is not what you focused on, but you can grow there. And guess what? You do it once, pays you multiple times. Recurring income. All of a sudden, you see your retirement. You see your vacations. You see your new cars. You see new homes. In addition to whatever you already purchased. Right? You see your legacy being built and extending. Your business isn't dying. You have one product, you might see it die. You might not know how to change it, how to extend it, how to broaden your mindset so that you can see it as a retirement option. Okay? We want to be comfortable. How much is going to make you comfortable? 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, a million, more? How are you going to get there? How are you going to get there if you don't have a path? I'm here today teaching this to you because I want you to get there. I want you to see that there's a path. There's a path for building out your tentacles. You don't build out the tentacles, you're not going to be able to get to the path. Guess who's going to get you there? Guess who's going to help you make the path, see your path, find out where you are today. That's me. 30 years in marketing and sales. Doing it for a long time. 12 years on my own as an entrepreneur. Foundation in nonprofit. In corporate. In entertainment. In finance. In software. In hardware. In education. Did I say education? Working with entertainers. I've done a lot. Biotech. Healthcare. I want to help you get there. I want to help you get from here to there. I want to help you broaden your mindset. And then I want to give you the tools that work for you. You're out there spending money on a bunch of different people doing this, a little bit of this over here, a little bit of that over there. And all I'm saying is you can get it right here. And if you believe that you can get it from me, that's a stepping stone, because guess what? I'm building something really big for you guys going down the line. But if you don't want to start there and it seems too big, there's going to be many courses available to you so that you can see the pathing. But before any of that happens, we have to meet to see where you are today. We have to meet to see where you are today. That might be inclusive of auditing. That might be just a small chat. But we're not going to get there if you don't see the path to your greatness. So first, see the path to your greatness. And then the next step is to get on my calendar so that we can talk about it. I want to talk about it with you. I want us to sit down and have a chat so that we can talk about next steps. If you are interested in that at all, the next step for you is to get on my calendar. You can DM me directly, depending on where you're getting this from. You can click the link to Sustainable You. That's the letter U.dev, D-E-V as in Victor, as in development, sustainableu.dev. There is a place where you can actually the first page, I believe, has a pop-up that will ask you to come on inside, and then we can get you signed up that way. It's linked to an email so that we can talk a little bit about what time frames work best for you. Check out my available courses that are coming out. You'll be seeing things come out. Depending on when you're watching this video, those will be showing up in September for the rest of this year, and then again in October for larger courses and memberships. You can join the email list just by going to and signing up for getting up on my calendar. Or you can just talk to me and DM me directly, and I will send you a direct link. We're going to build out that budget for you. We're going to build out that plan. We're going to build out that pathing for you. So I want you to follow me on social media pages. And then I want you to start saving dates, because stuff is going to start coming through. So watch your emails, events, updates, special tips and tricks, all that stuff. And follow me on Facebook in the group, Facebook/groups/organic growth for handmade, organic growth for handmade, all one word, no spaces. And I'll see you on the inside. I'm looking forward to speaking to each and every one of you real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye now.